How is everybody doing this weekend or today and getting ready for the weekend? I started my Friday with a bang. On my way to work, someone rear-ended me. Luckily, it wasn't a big deal. But a surprise way to start the weekend. And then I've been fighting. Oh, you should hear me now. You don't hear any birds? Yeah, I'm hearing it. It's from one of the samples that's running in the background. You won't hear it till I share my screen, I don't think. So yeah, that was fun. Way to start. And then I've spent some of my morning fighting a memory issue on an Xbox. That was fun, but I think I finally solved it. Spent time testing that, and then I've been fighting some issues with Nintendo lot checks, so busy morning, amongst other things. All right. So I'm not continuing where we left off last time. I think today I'd like to kind of look at the backlog of issues that have come up since 3.8.5 released, and see if there's some stuff we can address, because we want to get a 3.8.5 hotfix out that solves some of these problems for people in the short term, so we can then focus fully on 3.8.6. So let's share my screen and go with that. No reason to dilly-dally. I have one of our new starter kits running. This is as a test bed, using this to test some stuff. So we'll get back to this in a second. So issues. Music is a bit loud. You're right, probably is. That should be better. It feels almost like not listenable. There you go. That feels better. What do you think? Let me know. I think like everything delays things here, so I probably won't see your message for about another 10-15 seconds. It's kind of lame. All right. So, getting started here. So, thank you, Assume Sam. So I pulled out a couple of these that I think are all related to 3.8.5. This render target losing data one, which I think is one of them. Hang on, need to kill that thing. Kill this thing before it starts going crazy and popping things up. All right. So yeah, go away, hide. All right, so this is one of them that popped up yesterday. Kind of want to go in order here a little bit. This one's probably a pretty simple one to fix. I might just do that one today. It's easy. Make sure I have some sort of test. Especially window behavior in Mac OS. I won't be able to help too much with that. That's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I still don't have an answer to this, which is where we left things. What this PR ends up doing is in the middle of where's the function? I think it's in the middle of that function. Just to be sure. Yeah, in the middle of requate swap chain, it's like, let me just ask the window what size it is. And I think that that's not correct. The OpenGL log Vorbis issue, we can deal with that later. I mostly want to focus on the new pipelines and stuff and see what I can do there. That's more important at the moment, to me at least, getting those stable. So yeah, I just don't think that getting the window size directly inside of Vulkan is the right thing. If the, we need to make sure that this has the correct window size to begin with. It should be coming top down. This shouldn't be taking a guess at this, because I suspect, again, it's been a while since I've used pure XNA, that XNA, your window size and your window resolution are not tied. You can set a different window. You can set a different resolution within the window, I think, but I could be wrong with that. If I'm wrong with that, then it shouldn't matter. But if I am right, then that is a problem. So that's something we need clarification what the behavior should be. Then once we have clarification on the behavior, then we can consider, what to change here. But yeah, that's what I'm worried about, is figuring that out. But this needs to be untangled and figured out, because that's obviously kind of critical. Visual artifacts and switching render targets. This is the one that I was working on before, I think. Yeah, so this is the one that I was working on before, and the reason it didn't make it into 3.8.5 because we were concerned. I have a fix for it, but I was concerned that it was going to be too disruptive to change this so last minute. So I need to go look at it again and make sure that my fix is correct, test it, and then potentially merge it in. So I have a fix for this. We're going to go look at that in a minute. I think I have a fix for that. Content load duration, that's the one we've talked about before. Not critical at the moment, but we want to look at it. And what is this? And I really hate these Mojo shader issues. Okay, I have to feel like this is obviously, it feels to me like either this person is, super detailed, or this was written with an AI. Because it seems like this is a lot of detail. I mean, I love it, but it's a crazy amount of detail for a bug report. Let's see. Logan TGB. I'm using Linux Mint X11. When you call exit in MonoGame, the screen is full screen, and the screen is full screen resolution. It don't reset back to normal. This is common behavior. That's not common behavior. That's a bug. I recommend coming here to MonoGame issues and reporting it. If you could just come in here and submit an issue, and we can look at it. There's code in there that's supposed to reset the screen back on. If you're using exclusive full screen, right? It should be resetting that back. Where is that at? It's actually in. Is it in here? I think, or is it in here? Okay, it's part of this, I think. Yeah. This sets the display mode to closest. And I bet that's the only place it happens. Yeah, I mean, it looks like if it's set to window full screen, it's setting the display mode. I bet at no point does it reset it. Yeah, I can see how that could possibly happen. I mean, this should be tracking this. I wonder if this happens. It probably doesn't happen on Windows. I bet that on Windows, either SDL is doing it or Windows is doing it. Like, let's say I This will be an interesting experiment. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to come in here and force this sample to full screen. I'm using Vulkan. I do that. Move my. I think it'll start the main desktop here. We'll see. It did. Okay, it changed my desktop. It's working over there. If you guys haven't seen the sample, you can check it out a little bit. It's pretty cool. You can see how like that's so low resolution. So even though the screen is full screen here, this kind of is the explanation of the point of what I was saying about that other PR. The screen is full screen here, but obviously the resolution of the window is not matching the window size. Is that the right behavior or not? I don't know. But what I do know is that we need to get clarification on that before we do anything else. So yeah, so I'm going to now exit. Okay, my desktop went back to normal here. So it definitely does that on exit here. But it wouldn't surprise me if for whatever reason, either an SDL issue or something that's inherent to Linux or Unixes in general, that it doesn't reset the display mode back. And what we need to be doing is, restoring the display mode after we're done, which is fairly easy, it's like we just need to store display mode here. So yeah, if you could, Logan, please enter an issue into our issue tracker, github.com monogame/monogame. In the issue tracker, just add an issue in, and that would be great, because then we can track that and get it resolved. You don't have to add any more details than what you just did. That's totally enough for us to track this and figure this out. But yeah, I suspect that's what we need to be doing. Let's see what the docs say. Thanks, Logan. The docs don't say what happens. Like, it'd be really nice if this told you what would happen on shutdown. Does it keep that display mode? At least on Windows, it's not. But that could be a Windows behavior and not a behavior inherent to SDL. I always forget that SDL is simple direct media layer. So yeah, that's one of those things. So hopefully that's an easy one. Let's deal with something first that's straightforward. Let's address this real quick. I don't think there's an open PR for this. I don't see one linked. God damn, I forgot to loop my music. No, I forgot to loop my music. Yeah, that was probably just me when I set this up. I did a quick reading of it and says, oh yeah, it should be scaled. And that is incorrect. Okay, I don't think that should hurt anything. Trying to think of what the right test would be for this. I mean, a correct test is kind of hard. I guess the correct test would be something that renders using this as a input in order to identify that these are correct. It's almost like I could kind of write a test that builds different vertex buffers, with different, with each one of these, build a secondary vertex buffer with each one of these, and renders a quad to the screen. To ensure that that the interpolation is right between them. Yeah, a test could be written for this. Hang on, I need to open a just opening the right unit tests. Okay, that's not going to get me there. Hang on, got to go the right way. Sorry, keeping this off screen because I have too many things in here I can't be showing. Oh, it's just in the native. Duh. I'm always looking for the solution for unit tests, and there's no solution for unit tests. They don't work that way. Really? That's kind of weird. Because I was just looking at it, I thought. I mean, did I not post that in here? Vulkan swap chain size handling to prevent recreation loop. Here's the comment. This review comment is pending. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Should mean it's not posted? I don't understand. How is this not? This review comment is pending. What does that mean? Wait, I have to put. I just made a comment. Okay, I'm gonna cancel this and delete this fucking thing. I guess I hit this maybe, and then that, I mean, even that doesn't. Okay, so weird. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Anyways, so at least that's there now. Somebody might chime in now and we can figure that out. Because I'd like to make sure we don't break compatibility while we're at this. Thanks for, reminding, or thanks for clearing that up, Cthulhu. I usually don't do review comments. I always just do comments, and then once it's there, I approve the thing. But maybe I shouldn't do it that way. Obviously, I don't do it enough because I totally missed that. Let's see. Oh, just testing some stuff. I'll let that run real quick. So what I wanted. Okay, it's that one and this one. Oh wait, did not save it? Oh, that's annoying. Stop. That runs. All right, so trying to think what the better test is for this. Just kind of looking through the tests that we have here. So it's like the right test here, assuming none of our tests actually use this already. It just packing tests. Doesn't tell us anything about how the GPU interprets it. So yeah, there's no tests that kind of cover this. Sort of a vertex buffer test. It's more of a graphical test. To do this right, I would need. Thanks, Logan. I appreciate the bug report. I'll be able to mark it up if it's. Let's get this thing. So many ways to mark bugs. Did we not close this freaking close milestone? That's annoying. Did it like reopen because I put that there? Closed. It's done. Let's get it out of the way. Hey, no problem, Logan. That looks perfectly fine to me. You went above and beyond. I'm pretty sure that what needs to happen is we should probably protect against this. by preemptively on proper shutdown, at least trying to restore this. It is kind of weird. I guess it could just be a Windows thing that it shuts it down on its own. So yeah, if I wanted to make a unit test for this, here, it's going okay now. Put out some fires. So yeah, I think what I need is I need a test that. First, let's look and see what's the best place to put this. I'm gonna have to render. It's almost like the sprite batch tests. I see. Just trying to find the right test that makes sense to model this after. I definitely want to do something like this, potentially. So yeah, this is the kind of test I want to do. I want to create a render target, render something to it, then read the render target back and verify it's correct. I mean, it could be because of you. It could be that Linux Mint maybe has this behavior. I don't know for sure. I mean, the thing to find out is, or to poke into is, what does SDL do? Is it SDL that's the one that's restoring the resolution back, or is it a OS thing? Is SDL failing to tell the OS to restore the resolution? Is the OS failing to restore resolution, and on Linux Mint it needs to restore it because it doesn't do it on its own? I don't know where the problem lies. I know that we don't have any code in there to restore the resolution back, but it does restore it back on Windows. Is that Windows doing that after your application closes, or is it SDL doing it under the hood? I don't know for sure. My guess is the OS is doing it, but I'm not sure. Okay, so this derives for graphics text Fisher base, which is fine. So I should be able to do this with any test. So I want to do a test like that. Let's stick it in the vertex buffer. I'm just going to go for it here. Worry about test cases in a moment. That seems like a good name. Let's see, what are these? Yeah, I'm not sure about this yet. Let's get something kind of working, and then we'll work our way backwards. Sizes need to be great. feeling it couldn't do that. Oh wait. Okay, come on. Depth format. Alright, so create a target here. I don't know anything about that. I want to draw. Yes, everybody should just use mint, call them salt. Let's see, could this have been fixed by the fix you made during your previous stream? You know, that preserve. I mean, if you mean the other issue, where's my window here? This one, yeah. I mean, the previous stream I think has this one fixed. I'm not looking at that one right now. I'm just kind of taking a little side trip to see if I can resolve. Where is it? This one. Just resolving this one real quick. I kind of want to make a unit test here real quick for this, just because we might as well find out if there's anything else broken. But yeah, you know, and I have a sort of an idea for how this could work. So I'm going to make a render target. I'm going to make a VB. Type. Okay, I think what I'm going to do. That's interesting. I've never seen Visual Studio do that. That's funny. I've never seen it do that before. Man, those guys are just sitting around, you know, trying to figure out new wacky ways to make this thing weird. Like, I don't know how any of that is useful. Like, fix the shit that's actually broken. Why any of that? That's crazy. So I can base it on the type. Let's see. Actually, let's just do this. Can I do it this way? And I don't have like a really straightforward way to do this. Let me write it for one case. And then after I write it for one case, I can worry about the other cases. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do that. Greg, can you put structs inside of... Yeah, you can. Wait, can you? I've forgotten. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I'll just stick it out here. It's been a long time since I wrote a VB directly. What's the type? normalize short. You need to do got to do that. Remember correctly. It's been so long since I've written a vertex format directly. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to use this too, by the way. I'll deal with the fact that that's not the right way to do that in a bit. That's no fun. I know that it shouldn't be static or something. Use. It's all gross, but whatever. Guess I'm going to do 4 verts, probably. No, let's just do 6. And no, let's do 4. Let's do a strip. Buffer usage. Right only. I really didn't need the type, I guess. Really? Yeah, I probably didn't. We'll see though. So we're doing, let's see, trying to think, winding order. So clockwise, 0, 0, 0, 1. Yeah. 1 0 1 1. Fuck all that for right now. I want any noise at the moment. It's going to end up could have used user primitives to get away with it, but I don't want a binding because I need bindings, right? It's array of binding. That's not right yet, but starting point. Wait, do I not? Damn it. Okay, I need to allocate one. Okay, I see. Okay, it's going to end up doing this. Seems overly verbose. I know it looks weird. There's a method to my madness here. You go away. I don't need you yet. Okay, that's weird. Thanks, Visual Studio. Why not fix that instead of working on stupid highlighting tricks? Yeah, I guess that's what I want to do. How do I do that for multiple slots? Do I have to do something special there? I don't think I do. I forget. We'll find out as we go. I can use the decal from this thing. That's just a vector position, right? Yeah. I'm going to need an effect. Means I need a shader, which is one of those pain in the ass things. I think, didn't we add into here a let's see. Yeah, is there a way that I could set this up so that it pulls a sprite batch vertex? Could I pull this into sprite batch? I think I could, can't I? Yeah, I think I can. It's like I want it to read from two different VBs. I think I can do that. It's so long since I've messed around with VB, crazy VB shit. Because I can swear that when you make a binding, we're not instancing. Okay, I think if I change this to, because this normal sprite batch shader is position color UV. It won't fix my other test. I have to write my own test anyways. Yeah, I was thinking, can I reuse the sprite batch shader to do this? I probably can't. I probably shouldn't. These are all like sprite batch tests. I just want to take one I can use as a starting point. This will work. Sure, that's all fine. Just rendering in 2D. Do I need a world view projection? Probably not. I can probably get away with something as simple as, what's a simple case here? That's not going to give it to me. I need to go get it out of the stock effect. Oh, well, that's not what I want either. Duh. I always forget it used to always be in there, and now it's under here. So I always get lost. There we go. Yeah, we probably just want something simple like this. But I don't think I even need a transform. Yeah, I don't know if I need to transform at all here. We'll see. Oh yeah, we need some. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. It's kind of dumb. I'm not going to get any textures. just gonna output just passing a straight -2. I guess I should do that. I could probably just pass that straight through and be fine. Yeah, that's probably what I want to do. I need to test this. I need to be able to pass. What happens when you don't have a full... Yeah, to write a unit test for that, that's kind of a pain in the ass. It's like I need to have multiple input types. We'll see. All I want this to do is return look for if we write our test right, something simple. What's going to be the easiest way to process this? This is where I wish we had a built-in content builder in here, which you sort of do. I could sort of kind of use that, but I'm not going to do it for right now. I was running Vulkan tests anyways. Let's just use that. That's not going to open. What do I name this thing? Yep, let's give that a try. How do we run that? Really would hate to have to run it just on... Yeah, I didn't think so. This is running like some random pipeline tool on a machine. It's not what I wanted to do. I'd rather use the other one, but we're not set up for that in here. I really should convert all the unit tests to use the new pipeline. That'll have to happen at some point. And I thought we had a new pipeline test in here. Could have sworn we did. So it's content manager tests. Maybe we don't have them in here. I guess we don't. If we did, it would be in there. Or it could be in the tools or something like that. Anyways, at some point we need to make sure that gets added in there. In the meantime, let's just go run the freaking thing. Nope, I don't want that. I want artifacts. I don't want that either. I want, I guess either of these works, but I'll just use this. That might not be up to date. All right, come on, thing. All right, that's rebuilt. Let's go back to our artifacts. to date. Why would that work? That'd be too easy, right? Oh, man. Hey, something failed. Too few elements in vector initialization. Let's see, what is it? Line 42. Where'd my line numbers go? Okay, thanks, Visual Studio. I don't want line numbers here. Please do not give me line numbers. That would be too helpful. God damn it. It's like, why overly complicate things? I want line numbers in anything that I do. Oh, well, duh. Yeah, it's probably one. Okay, now built. That means in Vulkan, I have a good interpolation test. And there. Nope. So now I want to load an effect. I'm just gonna. How does it load content in here? Because content's just a member of that. Okay, yeah, I see. Streambo, no. Goodbye, Streambo. We didn't want to know ye. Is it current technique? No, it's current technique. This is also esoteric. Like, there should be something cleaner than this. Obviously, the effect system is kind of old and crunchy. That's pretty gross looking. So that should draw something. Let's see what it actually does. Let's see what it actually does. It's probably going to fail, but that's okay. First try. Looks okay. That's probably not correct, but that's fine for right now. Didn't mind it. Okay, I'll take that. Leaking resources, but who cares? For right now, who cares? So what I want to do after this What crazy syntax? In here? I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, that's interesting. What is that lowercase within height? Is that an internal? Oh, yeah. See, I don't want to do that. That's dumb. I don't want to do that at all. Actually, I don't want to do that one. Do much easier. Not sure exactly where it's going to write it to, though. J makes game slow. Okay, that did something. Let's see where it wrote it. I guess it's going to be in test. I don't know where it wrote it to. That's funny, huh? Maybe it's under artifacts. Yep, there it is. Hey, it wrote something. All right, so we got success here. And since my UVs were kind of weird, that's what it would do. All right, so close. Let's fix this. -1, -1. Wait, is that right? Yes. 2, 2, 2. I'm going to leave this open over here and run my test. Made better. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's what I did wrong. There we go. All right, so I think that if I switch this now to the bad interpolation, we should see a bad result here. I think we're going to see, I don't think we'll see the same thing. I think we'll see a bad result. Let's double check. I'm going to copy this guy. Come on. Come on. Machine's been very slow at this stuff. Machine is old. I need to replace it or refresh it at least. Okay, so these are the same now. I'm going to come back here and then come into this guy. This was a long way around to go deal with this. So I had this as I do that. The question is, when I run this now, how's it going to break this thing? Aha, so there you go. Here's the bug, right? So when it was incorrect, it did this. Correct is this. So this gives me something to test against, right? And the question is, can I write a unit test that But hey, it works, right? Which is what I wanted. So I think what I want to do is fix this to have a min and max or something like that. But yeah, it verifies that it works at least. So I know that this is working. I just wonder a couple things. Like one, if I did this, what would happen? Would it freak out, or would it just ignore those empty coordinates? Would the empty coordinates have nothing in them? The truth is, testing the first two coordinates is enough to verify that it can work. I don't need to test all four, I don't think, to test that it's functional, because the interpolation is going to be the same regardless if it's 2 coordinates, 4 coordinates. Yeah, that shouldn't matter. Really, testing 1 coordinate is enough to verify that it interpolates properly. It doesn't need to have, it could just be the single line. It doesn't need to do this, but still. Because if I change this now to be, yeah, if I change this to be this, let me copy this guy first. I think this will work with the same shader without any changes, I think. It'll just ignore the extra parameters that it doesn't need, I think. And it almost, I'm trying to just think of a way that I can make this kind of a formulaic test. I don't know if I can or can't. How does it use this? Does it really need a declaration, or can it get away without it? What does it use the declaration for? Yeah, it gets it out of the type. But I'm pretty certain that these types are not vertex types. Yeah, so it's not that way. Yeah, I have no choice. I would have to have tests for all these to make it work. Let's see what happens now. Still the bad shader, bad code though. Let's put this back. So actually it's good code now. So it's still broken on this one, but for this one it's fixed. So you should see this get fixed after I run this and it works properly. Yeah, that's true. It might actually work properly though. I forget what happens if I pass a vertex that's a little bit bigger. Can I do the, yeah, I can do the image comparison in the test. I'm just kind of first exploring how my test is going to work. Okay, looks like it succeeded. Yeah, so it fixed it. Okay. So yeah, so that's successful. Even though it had, the vertex has more parameters than it needs in the shader, it ignores those parameters, which I think should be true of every platform. So yeah, like once I do this, and I'm just doing this writing to verify that it's working. I can now programmatically do something like oh, that's an internal. It's really dangerous as they get exposed to external. It's very handy, but kind of dangerous. I mean, it's a very handy function to have in here. I mean, I'll exploit it. The right test. Always forget what the unit tests are in here. Right. Yeah. Expected. Shouldn't probably do that. Wait, no, it's just going to be, how did I do that? Wait, how does that work? Oh, I see. Yeah. Just one of these ambiguous cases. I mean, I guess this is the same regardless if it's bytes or whatever it is. Actual color 0. The next one is going to be, I'm going to just test the corners, which should verify that, it's not going to be like wrong in the middle, I doubt. But I can always test the middle too. So it's going to be R. I think that's correct. And at that corner, it's going to be green is still going to be 0, and yes, and that's going to be 255. I think. Then at it's gonna be the best way to do this. Let's do it like this. Just trying to make it flexible, so if I resize the stupid target, that it works along with it. God damn it, that internal really fucking driving me nuts. It's actually -1, isn't it? Yeah, it is -1. I think that's correct, though. So this bottom corner is going to be 250. Let's see. Yeah, and this is going to be 255, 255. I think that's all correct. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If I get through this and I make one good unit test, I guess that's a victory. A victory that we'll have from now until the end of time, right? As this unit test keeps proving that things work. Useless. Didn't like that already. What? Oh, well, that's correct. Duh. My unit test was wrong. Okay. Yeah, just keep going. Don't decompile source. I don't need you to decompile source. I need you to continue my test here. It's just not going to continue. It's just going to fail out. Anyways, I was wrong. It starts at... Why does it start at 55 in the corner? My thinking is 0, 0. I guess I'm thinking of 0, 0 wrong. 0, 0 is down here. I kept thinking of 0, 0 is up here. It's not. It's down here. Duh. That's why. But the first pixel is up here. So duh. That is why. First pixel's there. The opposite corner is going to be this pixel, which is yellow or green and red. Then the next corner is going to be this one down here, so it's going to be all black. And then the final corner is going to be all red. So it should be that. So if I get this to work, I want to see if I can plug this in where I can pass in different vertexes and get it to work, but I'm not sure if I can do that. Maybe through some reflection magic, I can make it function. Still didn't like it. Expected. Oh, because 255 is forced on these. Come on. You can probably fix that in the shader, but shader should probably pass 0 because that's probably more clear. I can fix that real quick. Yeah, let's fix that real quick. There's no reason. I mean, it's being used as data. It's not actually doing any blends. I'm not setting any blends. That's probably problematic, huh? Just to make it more accurate. I mean, I do like how MonoGame, like this does everything, renders the whole thing. I don't have to mess with anything else. It just works. Okay, so that change, I changed that file. Just need to rebuild that shader. Debug this once more time. If this works, then I'm going to recode this to see if I can pass in every single vertex format and make sure that it interpolates properly. Okay, so that matches. That one fails. 254. Interesting. I bet you I'm off by one. Here the interpolation is slightly off. Wait. What was the result? 0, 254, 0. I thought I'd be reading that corner. Yeah, that should be correct, right? Yeah. Should be reading this corner. Oh. Wait, did I have that right? I didn't have that right. What? Am I reading this wrong? $170. Am I off in my... Is this off? What am I getting wrong here? -1 to -1, -1. Oh, that's wrong. Wait. No. That's wrong. Duh, why was I thinking 2? Let me just run this once again. Should notice that that was completely wrong. Okay. Really screwed it up now. What did I do wrong now? Huh? Oh, it's because I'm writing 0 now. The color is there. It's just it's showing the alpha channel. Duh. That's why. It's like, well, why isn't it showing? Because it has the alpha channel on. Can I change that in here? Guess I really can't. That's annoying. So yeah, 0255. That should be. Okay, yeah, 255, 255. That should be 0 and one thing. Zero, zero, zero. T500. Yeah, no, it's doing the right thing. We're fixing something properly, which is kind of demonstrative of like how difficult it is to fix something properly. So it's this test or this issue. Vulkan backend maps normalized short to the vertex format scaled instead of S-norm. It's basically just the interpolation was wrong on it, which produces a bad result. So great, I can fix that. That's easy. The hard part is writing a test so that that problem never comes up again. And while it's like, hey, I'm spending 2 hours writing a test, but you know, if I write this test and I write it well, and we apply it to all our platforms, 1, we find the bugs in Vulkan. 2, we find the bugs in other platforms, potentially. And we get consistency. And the next time we add a new backend, like we've been discussing, we were discussing a new backend just today. It automatically inherits these unit tests, and it will be valid as well, without it breaking, keeping a future bug from happening. So while it seems like a lot of work here, and I'm sitting here thinking like, man, is this boring? And why are we doing all this? It seems like a lot of work. We could be working on something else. I have to think of it from the perspective of, if I fix this, it fixes not only this bug, but fixes future bugs, or prevents future bugs. You know, it really prevents future bugs from getting out to players or to users, because it gets tested, you know, ahead of time. I think that's important. I'm going to renege on this and change this back to that. All right, wait, not that, to this. It's also probably better for my tests for that to be that way. It also makes this easier to visualize. Okay, so now that looks more correct. That dim yellow should have alerted me that it shouldn't be dim yellow. So yeah. So now that's correct. Yeah, I saw that issue come in yesterday, and I just wanted to make sure that I understood what's going on here. All right. All right. I think this will work. I think that's going to work this time, but let's see. Let's run the test and see what it happens. It should fail and tell me what it failed, right? Okay. Expected 255 was, oh, duh. First problem. Okay, now we're getting to something more correct here. Let me just debug it. I don't want to sit here and obsess over that message. Come on, thing. Okay, so that's 254. I bet you it's either that. Yep. Because that was off by 1. It was 1 forward, so it just needs to be -1 to be the right test. Which makes sense, right? So I think that's going to mean that's that one. I think that's going to work. Give me a good test. Nope. Close though. Yeah, I'm not sure why I was expecting. Does this make sense? That's the last vertex. That's 1 past the last. -1 minus width. Is it -2? Let's see. One thing. Come on, get to the end. Let's go, Visual Studio. Okay. So that is correct. That is correct for sure. That is the last pixel for sure, and it's the right number. So I need to go 65535 minus 256. 65,279. Should be an abrupt change there. Yeah, 56,279. Wait, that's off by 1. It should be this one. So it should be that minus. Yeah, I need to subtract by 2 here, I think, because this is the wrong number. It should be 56,280. Yep. Wait. Should be that. Yep. I don't need the -1. It's already included. It's baked in. Okay, so this is going to work now, I think. All right, so this is how the sausage is made. Don't need you. So we know that one succeeds. This one is going to fail because it's still broken. So how do I make this programmatic? Pretty sure this is part of the base. I don't need to worry about freeing that because that's going to be freed with the fixture. That I do need to free. I hate to load this up with a bunch of usings. I could put a finally in here of some sort. Anyways, I'll deal with that later. So what's the right? This is going to be the same for every case. I don't mind testing it, building this every time. That's fine. This is the same for every case. I can make it smaller. It doesn't have to be this. There's a reason why I made this like that, so I can basically just do this and do less work. That should still give me the same result. Failed. The question is why now? Didn't bake in a 2d6 die. Nope. No, I didn't. I guess at, oh, you know why it worked? At this, the interpolation has to go one way or another. It doesn't have enough to be perfect. At 255, or 256, it ensures the interpolation has to end on the right point, which is probably good. This is probably fine. I don't need to worry about this too much. Okay, so how do I change this to be programmatic? Well, set data wants to work on a fixed type. I don't think it'll work with an object type. So I need to pass in this array essentially. And I need to pass in at least the element, or at least this data for the element, right? So if I pass in this, it's always going to be a direction coordinate. And then this array, that's what it needs to make it work. This array is going to be different every time. Can you make? You can do that. Can I do that? Let's see. I need to do, what is it? Is that it? Forget how that works. It's going to be on this thing anyways. Damn you. There it is. That's the syntax I'm looking at. Forgot how that syntax works. I've been jumping between lots of different engines lately. I was just working on some of our custom stuff with a native engine that we have. I was working on some Godot stuff, so I keep wanting to type in pound signs for comments, which is annoying. Okay, so this is all compiles validly. So that's all positive. Make this a little bit more obvious. Because I don't really need to clear to black. It's going to write every pixel, so that's kind of a wasted time. So now the question is, can I make this work? Guess I could. So here it's going to be oh, where am I going? And then this is the gross thing to do. Can I even do this? Yeah, I'm thinking I might not be able to get away with this.
Frankly, my dear,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Not able to get away with that. It's kind of annoying. What's a good way to do this? I guess the only good way to do this is this. Um, Go. That looks like the only way to really test that. I was hoping to like make it very programmatic, but this seems like the best way I can do that. Anybody else have some better ideas? More tests are always good. This one's going to fail. So that one's going to fail because the interpolation is going to be wrong. Right? Because the color is totally wrong there. That's because I still have it broken in here. Scaled. If I switch this back to S norm, it's going to work. Now the bigger question is I wrote this unit test and everything. Does it work on DX11? Does it work on OpenGL? It should. But anyway, so I have a good working test here that tests that these two cases are working. I need to do a little cleanup though. Really hate having to write it this way, but nope. Do that. I guess the vertex separation doesn't need to be disposed, does it? I mean, it is a graphics resource. I guess it does need to be disposed. It's a little weird throwing these away. I don't think you're supposed to. Let's find out what happens when you do. Probably a better way to do this, but whatever. Okay. What else is up here? The decoration. Bother me if I didn't run in the right order. Yeah, I just wanted to like just have an array where I could just have an array of data and it goes through it. But an array with another array in it, you know, it's kind of messy and everything. This at least lets me name them the right way and stuff. You verify that these run and don't blow up. Yes. So they run. Let's, for shits and giggles here, double check the same test under DX12. Make sure it works right. It should. Where is it? It's under vertex buffer tests. I want to run that one. Having to build it first. Aha! My first victim. Oh, haven't built the shader. That'll do it. I need to check in the shader too. It is kind of gross that we have these shaders checked in, but it is what it is. I'm gonna live with that for right this moment. Wait a second, where am I going? Add these into the other ones. We want this to run on all the platforms because it should pass on all the platforms. If it doesn't, that means there's a bug on that platform. Because the OpenGL one is used for all of them, I guess. That's interesting. That needs to be fixed. That's the shader compiler is not identifying that as a vertex ID. I mean, I don't think it'll break that test, but it should be identifying it. It's not. Something to look at later. Deal with that fire somewhere else or some other time. I want to get through at least this fire. All right. So that should work now. Yep. I want to be thorough. I would open up the tests for the other tests. So I want to be thorough. It sucks. I don't wanna, but I'm gonna. So I'm gonna open this. Verify the unit test works here. I think the tests are in here, yeah. The tests are in here. I mean, I could let the build server handle it, but I'm gonna have to fix it anyway, so I might as well just open these and test them. And you know what? It took me exactly 2 hours to get this stuff done. Assuming I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm gonna end with pushing a freaking test, and at least that issue is fixed, and it should be fixed forever. That said, we should be able to add more interpolation tests to that thing. Maybe I'll do that real quick. Let's see if I can get through these two first. Verified, verified. Awesome, awesome. Anyways, these things that seem very simple end up being this complex, thing to deal with when you're having to make sure it runs on everything. Interpolation's off there. go dig into that real quick. Let's have it spit out the texture while it's doing this. You already know what one of those is supposed to look, what those are supposed to look like. I have another one already there, so I'm going to have it run that. Okay, so if I come back over here, it's not going to be in there anymore. That's a good one. What is it saying is off here? What's it saying? It's saying that it's off everywhere else. I guess, yeah, it's off on this side. It's off by 1. I mean, I could make that kind of a fuzzy test a little bit. I suspect that the off by 1 here is like a interpolation artifact. Like sometimes interpolation, like it's like if you have a triangle, let's say this corner, and this corner, is that corner, is it 0 to 255 or is it 0 to 256? It's not exactly that, but the point is the interpolation. And I think on DX and Vulkan it interpolates one way. I think OpenGL it interpolates slightly a different way. I think that's what the issue is here. I mean, I could make this test a little bit different. Isn't there a tolerance equal? How do I do a tolerance test there? Can I subtract the colors? That. I can't subtract them. Wait. Yeah, not really made for that, huh? I mean, I could do like so I don't care about.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Feel free to chime in when you have another idea. Isn't that right? Okay, yeah. Sometimes I get screwed up. Too many languages in my head. Sounds like a good name. I mean, I could do a different assert, but, you know, I don't know. The fuzzy test seems like it's a little bit better. You know, I can put a note here saying, like, we should probably investigate why this is failing. Because I do want to find out why it's failing and get it right, but I need a test that works today. And it's just about right, even though it's not. It is annoying. I'm going to leave this old test in here. It's always been curious to me, languages that allow the trailing comma and ones that don't. JSON does not allow a trailing comma, and it sucks because of it. So I'm going to change this test to can I do... What's the right way to do this? There's like an any or something. I forget how that works. What do I need here? There's like a biggest trailing comma is great. It's like yeah, the EM dash is ruined. AI ruined EM dashes. No one can use an EM dash anymore. Time's over, but I need to get this down. What's the right way to do this? I guess do this. I think something like that'll work. I think that'll work. I'm not sure. Need to test this real quick. Is that going to fail? So give me a nan. Okay, now I was going to say. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very small. If it's correct, it's going to be very small. So those should all pass. I should probably make it even smaller to Make a point. And if it's wrong, it's going to be really wrong. I'll double check that here in a second. It's going to make sure that this is super small. I mean, that's super small enough, I think, but let's verify. I'm going to make it fail. I keep thinking of like the Terminator movie where you identify the Terminator because it uses an EM dash in the text. Okay, so that does work there. Let me break the test real quick to verify that it... Wait, what's the way I break the test in this? I need to break the test in the native side. Let's double check that it still works here. Which one is this? No, 157K1, because I know how to break it here. Make sure it still runs. Make sure it still runs. I hate that it clears it out. Because I run this one, it's like, turn all the other ones off. It's like, no, leave them alone. Okay, let me break this again. My short 2 is broken now. So when I run this, it's going to fail. I just want to verify it fails. There we go. Okay. So it'll fail pretty good, I guess, when it fails. So I want to make sure my test was still valid, and it is. So in theory, these other cases should be testable as well. Like even these should be testable to make sure that they work right. I think it might need some adjustments. So I think, but at least let's make sure those two work. We can come back and test the rest of these types. Those are all the types, right? Yeah. So not a lot of them. We could add unit tests for all those, but I'm starting with these. At least these work, and they work on all the cases. So we can actually make a PR. Fun. I mean, I was hoping to spend a little time working on what branch am I even in? Don't have any other fixes committed here. No, I don't. Still, it's a Vulkan fixes branch, so I might as well use it, huh? Stash this first. Okay. What's my name of branch again? Vulkan fix 5. Wait, is that the right one? The Vulkan fix is 6 too. Oh no, I'm just gonna call it something else. I did? Oh, I never, I don't think I put it back. Hang on, it's opening back up. Prepare solution. This is the desktop GL1, don't need that one now. Come on. Wake up tests. Music got all fast. I don't know if you guys hear that when that happens. Yeah, I didn't fix this back. I undid the fix. unorm, right? Yeah, it's supposed to be. And if it isn't, the test will tell me, huh? Oh, it's S norm. It's supposed to be S norm, but I just did U norm, so let's see what it does. It failed. And that's good. It failed because it's the wrong type, right? So that's awesome. It's supposed to be signed normalized, not unnormalized. And that's another thing I could have tested, right? Negative 1 to 1. Anyways, this is a good starting point for these tests. Okay, that's better. Let's get our code committed. Some of the other tests, so much of the junk I have in here I need to start settling. Okay, yeah, that's, God damn it, my mouse. I like roll my mouse and it keeps, the mouse wheel keeps rolling forever and it scales shit up. It drives me nuts. All right. This is another test that I have been working on. I don't need that junk anymore. Where's that? Don't need you. I'm just gonna run the whole set of tests once, just shits and giggles, just to make sure that that my test isn't breaking something else. It shouldn't. Okay.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Oh, I need to. A GPU unit test would be kind of neat, huh? A shader that asserts. I'm pretty sure you could possibly do that. I bet, you know, once we unlock compute shaders, it'd be pretty interesting to use those for assertions or try. I think there are ways to put assertions into shaders. We'll have to look into that sometime. Almost forgot that I needed to add the updated shaders, and it rebuilt a bunch of shaders in here. I wonder if I should include all of them. Probably should. It feels like I'm including stuff that's outside outside of what it needs to be in here. That's technically all that needs to be here. I wonder why those are different. Let's go check real quick. Just some random shit inside of it. Something extra that we're storing. I don't know what that is. I think that is a version identifier of some sort. Not sure what that is. I'm dubious to make this change. I'm not going to include those just in case. I'm a little nervous about including those. Let's see. So DX interpolate test, DX12. Don't have that one. becomes noisy. It's hard to see. There it is. DX, DX12, DX12, OpenGL, OpenGL, the actual shader, Vulkan. All right, I think that's everything. Hey, Slappy. Gone over my time, but at least this got done. At least I made something. All right. Swear to God. Stop it. I'm going to add a milestone to it. All right, we did it. We did it. We did it, everybody. Oh, let me certify. When I check that off, does it edit my post? I guess it does. Interesting. All right. So something that I thought would be a quick thing ended up being a long thing. But hey, that's good. How do I tell it to make sure it closes this when this gets fixed? I don't know. I'm just going to do that just in case. Get ahead of it. All right, so this will get fixed. Somebody should go in there and fix my merging here. Let's double check everything to make sure nothing got screwed up here. Esnorm. Probably could have killed that, but whatever. What the hell's this? Wait, how did that get in there? I didn't want that in there. Damn it. I'm annoyed. Yeah, I didn't intend for that to get committed. I don't know how that got committed. Okay. Should just be this. I'm going to commit that again. My other stuff is back out of there, right? Okay. I'm going to do the push F. That is a forced update. It will then kill that PR. Glad I caught that. All right, it'll start the test again in a minute. But okay, now that's fixed. Do I use a trackball? No. Do I look like my grandmother? Don't use a trackball. No, it's just a regular mouse wheel. What is this? A Microsoft or a Logitech MX Master 35? A Logi. Can't even say Logitech anymore. All right. All right, so we fix it. Progress. Ever so slowly, but progress nonetheless. Ugh. All right, well, we got through that, huh? Thumball, yeah, those things. I don't know how you guys use those things. Thumball things are weird. Trackballs are never my thing. I've been using a mouse for a very, very long time. Like, my first mouse experience was obviously a classic Mac, that a friend had, and then an Atari, not an Atari, sorry, Amiga. Had an Amiga with a mouse. One big fat, I think it was like one or two big fat buttons and a mouse ball. And then I remember a girlfriend of mine, they had an optical mouse. These were the super early days optical mice. It was I don't even know where I find this. They had, oh, here, is this it? Yeah, they had one of these guys. I'll share my screen again, just because it's fun. I was done, but I'm going to do it one more time. They had one of these guys. You see the pattern under here? It was an optical mouse, but it required a special mouse pad. That was pretty advanced at the time. That must have been like 89, 90 or something like that. Something like that. But I think it was exactly this one or very similar to this. I sort of remember those buttons. Anyways, I've been using a mouse forever and never used trackballs. Could never do it. The old original red LED ones. Anyways, yeah, mice. All right. So what did we learn? I guess we learned that fixing a bug properly takes time. So it took me a little over 2 hours to write a unit test. Luckily the fix was already there, right? The original poster. Please take off the controller away from the sun. It's triggering me. The original poster at least had a fix directly, which is great, but instead of just submitting, I'll just commit that two line fix. Writing a unit test is important. We got a good test that will keep this from failing again in the future. Hopefully make it where if when we add a new platform, which we will be, that's something we're working on. When we add a new platform, that it ensures that it works with this as well, that it's not going to be broken. And then the next step for this would be somebody go in there and expand that unit test to include the other formats and fix the test, because I think that I probably should have tested a negative value to a positive value in order to see how it reacts to different things like that. And that means that I probably need to pass something to compare the test against, but that's fine. But I think that test could be improved to cover every single vertex format to make sure that all our vertex formats have correct interpolation, meaning that we don't have these bugs in the future. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with the results, even though what I really wanted to do was work on the city builder a little bit today. That's really, really what I want to do. I wanted to spend some time, and oh no, I still left it in full screen. I really wanted to just play with this thing some more. Great. But yeah, really just wanted to play with the city builder, because that's more fun than fixing unit tests, but at least we got it fixed. Maybe next time I'll mess with city builder a little bit. And maybe address some of these other issues, because there are definitely more issues to fix. But at least we got this one fixed. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. As always, follow us on Twitch and YouTube. That's where we stream. I'm always here on Fridays. Simon's always here on Thursdays. And are we streaming every day this week? I don't think so, but we probably should be. We need to get streams every day in order to really build an audience. But we have other things we're planned for doing that. And as always, your donations are always welcome. We know it's interesting. The foundation noticed that we had an uptick in donations after the 3.5 release. And it makes me wonder. One thing it taught us, which should be obvious, is that shipping things makes people happy and it gets people excited. So ship things, that'll help us with donations. Also, having something neat to show off and to have access to, like the now to get access to this new city builder starter kit. It's part of the sponsor content, and we're gonna add more. Eventually, the city builder will be open to everybody. We have another one that we're working on, another 2 that we're working on now. Try to get those done, and eventually Ascent will be to a point that it's like, hey, this is something to ship as well. That's another big project on our list, and we're thinking about more because we want to add some more content, because we strongly feel like the additional content that we're building is really a good starting point. It helps people so that they can start in a 3D experience writing code instead of just a 2D experience writing code, which I think that's some of the hurdle, people not being able to jump to 3D in MonoGame when it's very easy to do. You just have to know what you're doing. So we feel like these starter kits are going to help people do that. And I think once we get people once people have that experience of like, oh, here's a platformer written in just code. But I don't have to use a drag and drop editor and I have to work with that. I can write whatever I want. And they start getting into that. I think that they'll see how much more fun it is to write code to do this than a drag and drop editor, and how much more control you have. Anyways, so we've noticed an uptick in sponsorship, and that's awesome. We appreciate it. But sponsoring is not just about money. You can also donate your time. Earlier today, somebody reported an issue. Who was it? It was early. Logan did, an issue in Mint Linux. I asked him to submit the bug, submit an issue for it. He did. That's a contribution that helps us. Submit those bugs. It helps us get things done. The fact that somebody submitted the bug I've worked on today and I was able to get it fixed and add some unit tests, that's a contribution. It helps. So every contribution like that helps, but donations are good too. All right, guys. Well, have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.